He's got a good six-pack.
Yeah.
No, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, this is more like it. From Daniel Barnett in Guildford.
Now, that's up there with you as an aficionado, as an owner of something like that. What do you think of that?
That's a lot better than I was. I mean, this guy, obviously, he does a lot of weights and that. Yeah, good on him. He's got 6.
His pants are showing there. There's rather too much of his pants showing. This next one, there was...
Now, I like this guy.
There was far too much of his pants
Now,
showing.
I like this guy because he's got an Aussie element about him. He's got a real kind of
He's got something about him,
Dundee, I don't know, Eric Banner kind of vibe about him. He's good. I like him.
OK. We're going to be marking the rest of our stuff later.
Peter, do you think that any sort of marriage preparation classes would have helped you?
No, I'm not... I don't know if I agree with that totally. I do agree, though, with... It's a new way of thinking. The old school don't necessarily agree with it. But I think couples should live together first before they commit to marriage.
How long for? What's the idea?
Well, I think even if they get engaged, that's fine. But there should be a long period of time, I think, because you get to know each other's habits, the things you like, you don't like. When you rush into marriage, which they did do in the olden days, but they stuck together. Unfortunately, these days, it doesn't quite work like that, to just meet someone and get married, I think, personally.
Because your parents they've been together, what, 55 years?
55 years,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and it's the only thing, it's the thing that I'm gutted about, because that's exactly what I would have hoped for, you know?
But that can give you too high aspirations, I mean, can't it? You're trying to emulate that. I mean, very few people are going to achieve that, be married that long, people getting married late and so on. Did you feel you'd let them down, though?
Yeah, I think one of the things that made me very upset is you feel almost like you failed towards what you were brought up to believe. You know, in that respect, it's hard, but you never know what's going to happen. And unfortunately, you know, I think you've got to go into marriage believing in it, and you've got to go into marriage believing it's forever, not the piece of paper.
But how much harder must it be when your whole life's under the spotlight? I mean, here we are now, we're filming you, and we're being filming you by a team making a documentary about you now.
I'll tell you what, Mike's getting a lot of coverage on TV at the moment. I don't know what's going on.
They might make a documentary about him now.
It's the Mike show.
All the way around, won't it?
Doing good, buddy. Look, you know, I've said that it's you've got to be, when you're in this industry, you've got to take everything that comes with it. While it's good and while there's work, you take it. There will come a point, I think, in everyone's life where they say, enough of that, enough of this. And I don't think this will be a forever thing, but, you know, for now, it's okay. It's good.
And do you feel in control of your life when you've got people following you around and it's all kind of veering off and it's in the press and all the rest of it?
You can't put a stop to this, can you? You can't say, I don't want this anymore.
Well, I think if you do want it to stop, then you should move. Go to a place where no one's going to care less. I'm not saying that everyone cares now, but I'm just saying, you know, I'm in an industry that give you that have all these things that come with it, and so I take it all. I don't just take parts of it, and you can't switch it on and off.
I mean, one significant downside of it is that if your whole life is preyed out in the press, like a reality TV show, in the end, nobody actually believes anything is true. They think it's fiction.
Yeah, people now become quite cynical.
Yeah, they accuse you of this being a publicity stunt to sell you.
I totally understand that. And, you know, I think that that's the side you've got to take as well. That's the good and the bad sides you have to take. I think you learn from things as you go along and think, well, maybe I won't overexpose this certain part, but I don't mind this bit. And you've always got your own privacy. When you go home, shut your door, go into your bedroom.
So those blokes don't follow you into the toilet?
No.
Right there.
Although, Mike, I'm getting a bit worried.
They haven't given you much peace yet that I've seen, but I'm sorry about him, Peter.
He should do a special. He's very good.
He's excellent.
He's special.
He knows it, though.
Thank you very much indeed.
Peter, why don't you make a comeback? Why don't you disappear for a while, give yourself a break from this madness, and then come back in a blaze of glory? Give yourself 18 months off, like Robbie.
He's only just started.
All right. I'm not trying to get rid of me already. No, I'm not.
Talking about Robbie, I'm very glad he's doing this. And then you see groups like Take That who are unbelievable, and I'm so glad they made a comeback. See, humble people, when people are nice people, they deserve
Yeah.
They deserve it, I think, and take that did so well. And I'd
Yeah, but
like
nasty
to-
people make comebacks too. I've seen.
Yeah, they do.
I could name a few.
Stop.
Peter is still on the way there. Now,
Yeah.
would you agree with my list of comeback champs? The top of which I put Elvis Presley, who 1961, you know, that was when he did his last big concert. For 7 years he did nothing, and then 68 he burst back on the scene, caught half the American audience on TV in his black leathers with the studs. He's Muhammad Ali, I mentioned in the film. He has to be another one,
Yeah.
because he was out, and he was unpopular too because he refused to serve in the American Armed Forces. He was actually in prison for being a conscientious objector, and then he came back after a few years, and with the Rumble in the Jungle in Zaire, and he knocked out George Foreman, who in a way also was a comeback kid,
Yeah.
of course, because he came back from nowhere, aged something like 52.
Oh,
and was still,
really old, yeah.
But I've got to take that. Has to be the recent comeback
Yeah.
kings of
Oh,
all
yeah,
time.
absolutely.
And they did it without Robbie. Many people went thinking they were going to see Robbie, and they just saw these people, thought, well, they're interesting in their own way, and they loved it. But there are also people who've failed. I mean, the comeback chumps as well. Let us face it. Top of the list, I would put Bjorn Borg. Yeah, well, I would. Not just the headband, but he came back after 10 years in retirement, and then when he came back, he lost every single game. Having won 11 Grand Slams, he came back with the same wooden racket, not realising the world had moved on. The balls actually went through it. You know, he hadn't realised that strings were now required. It didn't really work for him. But he
He
wasn't
was a fashion icon.
he was, in his own way, as was Tony Hancock.
Yeah.
During Adrian and my childhood, we loved Tony
Speak for yourself. I was long dead by the time I was.
No, I'm
I like that, I
I'm a
like
little bit fixated by Lucy. It's
Oh,
very
it's
exciting.
natural.
She's female. He's fixated. Don't be flattered by that.
Anyway,
I'm usually flattered.
the point is that it was a little bit sad for Tony Hancock, because that actually was a decline rather than a comeback.
Briefly, East 17. Just we got to.
Oh, East 17.
I loved
Yeah.
them.
You love
I
East
loved
17.
them.
When they were great, they were great. When they came back, they were horrid.
Yeah.
Look, exactly. Before and after. It's heartbreaking, isn't it?
Yeah.
I still love them. Anyway.
I know, you used to love them. We're on the way, actually. What about... Do you think we could form a boy band?
Yeah, you know, I was just, yeah, why not?
Why not? Why not?
have
Because
to
I know
get
you're
me
looking for a new partner.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
I don't
Absolutely.
think you're quite what he had in mind, I must say.
I
but,
don't know, he could
we'll work on
upstage the whole thing here.
Yeah, you know,
Angelica Bell with 1 foot in England and 1 foot in Wales. Let's talk about your new single, available to download from the weekend. Now, Behind Closed Doors. I've been a clever chap. I can kind of analyse lyrics, and I think there might be something about publicity and about what goes on behind closed doors.
Yeah, I think it's a generalisation. Yes, there's part of it that relates to me personally, but it is a generalisation. Everyone at some point puts a facade on. Even if you go to work a job that you love, you might not be feeling well that day, but you still put on the smile, you still do what you have to do. And basically it's saying things are always different behind closed doors for everybody. Just ours was slightly different.
So in the video, there's obvious references to your now ex. What was that all about?
Well, the video, we didn't want to go for a predictable pop video, so what we did was, I was a photographer taking pictures of these models. Everything appeared fine till I developed the pictures and realised their eyes were missing, thinking there's something wrong with my film. But the truth is, these women are actually very evil, possessed women.
Okay.
And... what?
But they can't...
I didn't say anything.
There's a striking resemblance to your ex amongst these.
No, I didn't say that. What happened was they've got black eyes and they're trying to possess me.
OK, all right.
And maybe kill me.
Let the one-show public
yeah,
judge.
let's-
I didn't say anything.
Behind closed doors, behind closed doors, where it happened. Behind closed doors, that's where the truth is. That's where the lie is.
Keep going, Dave, keep going.
Poor guy.
Peter, did you, when you read the stuff that's coming out in the papers from
Yes.
Katie now, how do you sort of turn the other cheek?
I
How
don't
do
read
you...
it. It's been about 2 weeks now, and I've purposely, except for on the Sunday, the last Sunday, I don't read. I won't look. I've taken Google Alert off the internet. I'm not interested because all it'll do is, why look at the negative? It'll just... you have to move on. So I just don't look at it.
Okay.
to
It's
be
getting a
honest.
bit samey, to be honest. You're not missing much.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet you. Best of
You
luck
too.
with
Thank you
best of
guys
luck
for
with
having me.
everything.